Blam.
We up and running?
We are. Well, I'm kind of at a slower gait, but
All right.
you know.
All right. Well, this is
What is this?
This is The Sword.
God, that was actually a really good fucking album.
It's not bad. But welcome to this week's Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. I'm Kevin. That dashing young fellow is Brandon.
Young fellow.
Where we gather weekly to bitch and moan about, to talk about our three favorite things we have going on, which is Mead, Metal, and MMA. The three things we have a passion for.
A few of my favorite things.
We like to hit the ground running to get right into talking about the very first thing, and that is Mead. We kind of do a
Fucking
check.
hate having to come over here and work.
Well, that's what we did today. It was actually a very good thing. We've been talking about Runestone for a very long time. That's our batch, which is orange and vanilla and a couple of other extra special things that kind of make it tick. We started that batch on March 3rd, and here it is, Cinco de Mayo, and
Happy 5th of May, dude.
yeah, that's. I think it's German for no. I think it roughly translates to May the 5th. That's the.
Which, when you know it, is today.
So we're over 2 months in on this batch. So we just now moved it out and away from the amendments and into another fermentation stage. Although technically, all this one is just a resting stage before we move it into a glass carboy for 3 or 4 weeks.
Came out a lot clearer than I thought it would.
Looks just like the rye whiskey I'm drinking right now.
Yeah.
It came out looking really. It's almost a glow to it.
I really think that because this is a batch that requires time, if that little test batch taught us anything.
Yeah,
This is going to be amazing around July.
I think so. Which is interesting. I'm going to hold on to a story for just a moment, but if you're one to hang on to it for a long time, I think that's fine. This is the batch that would do that very well.
Yes.
So Runestone, probably, I thought it'd be about mid-June. It might be very well the first part of June, actually.
Yeah.
So, we're not in a big hurry with it, so that's fine. But nonetheless, that does bring me to actually this point. When we get to talking about mead, a lot of times we talk about, I don't know, the alcohol level, the specific gravity that we have, or whatever the case might be, the flavoring amendments. The one thing is that, and it's a learning process for you and I. We only started this just over 2 years ago.
Right.
According to Time Up. But
according to the internet machine.
But nonetheless, just over 2 years ago, and that's fine. What we have learned over the years is that natural flavor is the best if you can put it in. We didn't do it with vanilla bean because it's hard for me to gauge that. The alcohol will potentially break down the bean pod,
right,
and create a lot of trash, and it's harder to rack it out and everything else. So we went ahead and went liquid vanilla on that to create less issue as far as what's in the batch. Now, one of the things we kind of came across on a batch called Sacred Tree was, you might recall, from, last summer?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we bottled that and had it ready to go July, I want to say.
July, August, somewhere through there.
Time Up might say otherwise.
But nonetheless, though, we went ahead and utilized a pretty heavy apple concentrate in order to try to ramp up the sweetness. I wasn't really worried about the flavor, but it was the sweetness. We had a lot of people getting on our ass about it, saying, hey, you guys, everything's too savory. It's like drinking a steak. Well, all right, well, tough, But nonetheless, though, we did cave, as we always do eventually, to people who have
That's
a problem
right.
with
That's
what we're
why
doing.
you can hold on to this bottle for 3 or 4 or 5 years if you want.
This one. Now, Sacred Tree was a whole different matter because of the fact we had such a ramped-up apple concentrate to bring up the sweetness level. It did. But what it did is it reactivated the yeast when the yeast was already in secondary. And what that causes is a ripple effect where the yeast almost never have a die-off.
Yeah, and just turns it into a sparkling mead.
Which is very pleasant.
Yeah, the Sacred Tree, when that happened, because, we were able to have a few bottles of it right after we finished bottling it. And it was good. Not my favorite, but it was good.
It's a little sweet for me, but it
liked
gave the people what they wanted.
Right. I loved it a lot more once it had a little effervescence to it.
Well, herein lies the problem: is that I did receive a poem from my brother Daryl in Austin.
I feel like we need some really light background music for this.
So I get this text just out of the blue on Wednesday. Once upon a time, there was a bottle from the sacred tree who decided of its own accord to commit hara-kiri. So late last night, while the master slept, it popped its cork and bled out all over the master's floor. Nevermore, nevermore. Sleep sweetly, O sacred tree. I never knew ye. Finn.
It's actually beautiful. Very beautiful.
A little bit of epic prose, which is okay. But the effervescence finally got the better of that particular batch and decided to blow up all over his floor. So,
and we were using number 9s.
Yeah,
on those too, or number 8s.
I'm not sure
because that was the time Amazon fucked up our cork order.
I think those were 9s, so I don't think I would have been comfortable with a bottle that effervescent utilizing 8.
Well,
so we're talking about.
We didn't realize it was going to happen until about 3 months later.
We're talking cork size here. I mean, 9s are great for if you're wanting to be able to put something on a shelf a long time if it has no effervescence to it. I'm pretty sure if it was an 8, it would have been blowing corks all over the place.
Absolutely. So I would like to leave the Mead portion of this podcast these 3 very important rules for enjoying our fine product. Rule number 1. You don't fucking mix it with Sprite.
Oh, well, that was a different matter.
That's just a rule.
Yeah, that was somebody that bought a bottle of Long Ships. It was too savory for them, and they added Sprite to it.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, it wasn't a detriment to what we were doing. Just I think
I want to make sure people don't think my brother did that.
No, Daryl, it was not you, sir. Rule number 2 to enjoying our shit: don't leave it in your fucking car.
Ooh, that'd be another one. My friend Gail. Got a bottle, the very last bottle, one I was sitting on, of our very first bottle we ever had. And she went off to some conference and left it in her car all day, and, there it goes.
And rule number 3, if it has a little bit of bubble to it, and it's from us,
drink it now.
Drink it before it blows up.
Drink it now. But
sorry you couldn't enjoy it, Daryl.
But here's the thing, is effervescence is not a good thing. I mean, while it was rocking and rolling, and our friend Ruben enjoyed the hell out of it. He loved the bubbly on it. I didn't, because I knew that that's nothing but basically a hand grenade waiting to go off, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Now, we'd never had that problem before of a bottle left static and blowing a cork. So this is the first.
Well, that's because we rarely have bottles left.
Yeah, well, that's true. So for my bro, I'll be sending him another one. So, oh well.
Drink it that day.
No, it'll be batch one. It's shelf stable for a very long time. So, but nonetheless, though, and I appreciate the fact that a lot of people want to sit on the stuff that we do, and because there's no greater compliment than saying, "Hey, I want this stuff to mature, and I want to really kind of get a real kick out of it in years to come." I get it, and I understand the donations we require are not cheap. I get that as well. But truly do know about 6 to 12 months after a batch is bottled is about its peak.
Yeah.
At that point, it will only get sweeter and thicker. And a lot of batches, that's not a good thing.
Yeah. And it'll really cover up the work that we put into it.
If it has amendments, the honey starts to take over. That's exactly what happens.
Sure.
So if you're getting like a Long Ships or a Troublemaker or something like that has not a lot of spice, but it's got spice in it. Those tend to go away. Those notes tend to get covered up as the honey matures. So, just my 2 cents.
3 very important rules for enjoying our mead.
All right, let's move to the metal portion of the podcast. What you been listening to this week?
Actually, I've been listening to a lot of Devin Townsend today because today is his 45th birthday. Happy birthday, Devin Townsend.
Today? Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah. Canadian, born on Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, that's a NAFTA birthday for you right there.
Right. Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of that. When I played you that band Seven Kingdoms the other day, kind of getting back into them. They actually have a new album coming out recently as well.
People that don't know, that's a band that does Game of Thrones themed music.
Yeah, metal based off the books because I think they were active before the show was even started filming.
God, I hope like hell they aren't waiting on George R.R. Martin.
Oh, no. Yeah, hell, they're going to have to go to the fucking show now. I mean, shit, they have no choice. Or start doing that Game of Thrones fan fiction.
This week, I've been trying to check out Elder a lot more. They've got a record coming out here in a month. I think on June 10th, I'm going to say, somewhere around there. I think the first Friday of June. And I don't know. Lore is such a great record. Now, the ones before, they're a little heavier, a little more raw. So a lot of people, if the knock is that you don't think they're raw enough, you're probably not going to like the upcoming record they've got. But looking forward to that one. And then it turns out there's one I completely overlooked that came out. And I think it's because of all the hoopla. We were really kind of tunnel vision after the release of Pallbearer's new one back in March, and then followed by Mastodon. I really, really overlooked Woodhawk.
Yeah, I'd never fucking heard of them.
Beyond the Sun. That is their brand new. It came out, I want to say, like April 4th or something like that, somewhere in that ballpark, April 3rd. Somewhere in the early part of April, nonetheless, though. So it's been out about a month, and I would encourage you to check it out. Now, I will say, it's not something that's going to knock your socks off. But it's very jammy, though.
Yeah, it really is. Like you said earlier, great for you're going to go fucking run 5 miles or fucking lift some weights.
Jump on the lawnmower for the afternoon, or, you know.
Fucking rub one out vigorously.
Well, I don't know about that one, but okay. That's Lionel Richie music right there.
That's right.
Hello?
The heavier the music, the less lube you use when doing it, because you're obviously not in it to have fun. You're just in it to fuck shit up.
And just torture yourself. But nonetheless, check it out, though. Woodhawk, Beyond the Sun. I can sign off on that. It's one word, Woodhawk. Anything else going on musically? I think we've had nothing but really positive response so far, from what best I can tell, on our cover of the Cure love song.
Yeah, I've heard no complaints, and I usually put that as a pretty good benchmark.
And if you're wanting to check it out, and if you didn't listen to the podcast a couple of weeks ago where we put it at the very end or whatever the case might be, you just go to Brandon's, subscribe to his channel, because, I mean, that'll pop up.
Yeah.
You know, but
every Friday you'll have some good shit.
yeah, I mean, that's where the podcast shows up at. But and every time we're trying to do any new music or anything like that, we'll try to post it up there as well. So.
And we may, unless the liquor takes us, which it usually does.
Wait, the liquor tickets?
Gonna try to get out a jam tonight and get it uploaded. We were talking about the other day.
Yeah, want to do like an STP cover? Get up the ante and try to do an STP cover, but make it a medley into a Decemberist track and back to a different STP track.
Golly, that would take some weaving.
Be a little. That may be a little fucking.
That might be a little out there.
Aspiration for us.
Well, when we played Big Empty a lot in the past, and I think out of even including Nutshell, it's one of our best songs to just pick up and play, because every time we do, I think it sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, but we're usually blasted by the time we play it, so
That's what I mean.
Know, that might figure out.
That might be part of the equation. It will be one of those things that, like, we can record it finally, and then we hear it in our minds, but then we'll actually get to hear it, and if it's like,
yeah,
exactly. Then it'd be like, okay, maybe we should just record sober from now on.
Live music. Best I can tell, we're in the desert, and not just literally, but not just figuratively, but literally as far as music goes. I did a big look in advance. I just want to see what's coming up at Jake's over in Lubbock. They don't have anything coming up I'm interested in between now and about the end of June. I checked the Rainbow Theater.
Sunshine
Theater up in Albuquerque. Nothing
where
there.
Devin Townsend played last Sunday. And I didn't get to go because my work sucks.
So I don't know if like late spring, early summer is like kind of just a dead spot for a lot of tourists.
Animals as leaders in Albuquerque, that's all right. I wouldn't drive 4 hours for it. But
yeah. I mean, I recognize some bands, but it's nothing that I'm going to call in sick for the next day, because that's what I'd essentially have to do. Because all of them are always on a weeknight. If you want to catch, like, the big ones, I mean...
Yeah, big bands don't play Sunshine on a weekend. It's usually a weekday as they're going to, transitioning to another town.
Yeah, I mean...
Damn, you're right, man. There ain't shit going on over fucking Sunshine.
We would have to go, Phoenix or... well, I would say Phoenix, probably for us. That's
really a lot of fucking decent bands hit up, like, Gallup and Farmington for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. Like, Soilwork, Swedish... metal band has played there fucking a dozen times, I think. They just clipped that fucking edge of our state, and then they're fucking off to Denver.
Wow. That is.
I'm like, yeah, I'm sure a lot of metalheads live in Farmington. That might be like a fucking underground awesome place to live for people like we.
Maybe. I don't. That seems weird to me, but okay. I don't know, but it's just a little frustrating on the live music scene because and I'm accustomed to it. If it's going to be over at Jake's over in Lubbock, it's going to be probably, if it's anybody you want to actually see, it's going to be like a Tuesday or something like that.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is that good enough for the, I think that's good enough for the metal.
And a very happy birthday to Kublai Khan, son of Genghis Khan.
So you're the one going all ancient history.
Well, it just popped up. It was right above the Carnegie Hall opening.
Oh, are you doing this week in metal history? Is that what you're doing? Or?
Well, I've found fuck all nothing. Apparently, Cinco de Mayo is a very slow day for metal.
Well, you got to celebrate. 1494 is when Christopher Columbus landed on the island of Jamaica.
Wow.
Named it Santa Gloria.
That's when hedonism started right there.
Yeah. Napoleon Bonaparte died in exile, 1821.
Oh, damn. Poor guy.
Short little fella. Shit. Frankly, that's not that big a deal. Alan Shepard, astronaut. It makes it astronaut day, actually, but that's fine. There's nothing going on. Everybody stops to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Well, which actually is based on, 1862?
Oh, no, man. You're the history guy.
That was when the Mexicans beat the French at the Battle of Puebla, and that's why they have their big holiday. And that's why we celebrate Cinco de Mayo in this country by eating tacos and drinking shitloads of tequila and drinking Corona and Tecate.
Well, we celebrate by drinking Budweiser and rye.
That's because we don't want to be involved in that whole cultural appropriation thing.
That's right.
We're respectful of other cultures.
That's right. I'm sober on Patty's Day.
But nonetheless, though, good on you. Mexico beat the French, which actually, as it turns out, everybody could beat the French, as it turned out. But,
sure.
Yeah. I mean, Germany started it was like their part-time job. So anyway, that's a quick little look at that. Let's move on to MMA.
Well,
week 2 of the drought continues.
Yeah, my God, I'm
UFC.
so thirsty. I'm so thirsty.
UFC 211 coming up a week from tomorrow. Stipe Miocic, the pride of Cleveland, will be defending his title against Junior Dos Santos. Dos Santos, JDS already beat him once, right?
Yeah, it was pretty close, though.
Yeah,
it was a pretty close fight.
It was a decision fight, but I don't know. I think Stipe's actually probably still in his prime. I think JDS has been kind of on a slide for a little bit. I don't want to necessarily make picks. That's what we'll do next week, but that doesn't seem to be as much of a challenging title defense in this fan's eye, anyway, as it could be.
Yeah.
Although, let's face facts. Starting next week, though, the 13th of May, all the way for 2 solid months until the schedule just runs out. There's a fight every weekend.
Actually, after 211, we're going to have another 2-week drought.
No.
Yeah.
Because
after 211,
is that some kind of Ultimate Fighter shit I saw, maybe?
After 211, it's Fight Night 109 that's headlined by Gustafson and Glover. Texier.
And when's that one going to be?
May 28th. And then after that, we got 212, Aldo and Holloway. Week after that, we got Hunt versus Lewis. And the week after that, we got Holly Holm fighting Betch. So starting on the 28th, you got 4 solid weeks in a row of Chingasos.
See, I thought it was the 13th, and I thought it was like 2 months. Yeah, apparently not. Apparently I was looking at this thing cross-eyed or something. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, but, okay, so 28th, June 3rd, June 10th, June 17th, 25th, July 7th, July 8th. Oh, that's fight week. I know somebody's going to be out there in Vegas for that. July 16th, July 22nd. Yeah. So every week from the 28th all the way till the end of July, until the schedule runs out, there is a UFC event.
And 213 is looking better and better by the day.
Yeah, because you're going to be out there present for that one. So obviously, not that there's going to be bias, but let's just say that you're going to say that fight is better than anything else throughout the year.
Absolutely.
But for fight week, it should be anyway.
Absolutely.
It usually is.
I mean, that's WrestleMania time for UFC. That's Super Bowl time. It's time to really show your shit.
All right.
This will be the first international fight week under the WME brand.
Right.
So it'll be very interesting to see. I swear to fucking God, dude, if it's all just fucking pop concerts and bullshit, I'm not going to go to the fucking fight week. I'll go to the Hall of Fame when they do that on, I think they're doing that Thursday.
We'll go see like casting crowns and stuff. And
fuck that shit. We'll go to the top of the stratosphere and jump off that thing before I do that.
All right. Hey, and by the way, last week I'd kind of mentioned this briefly, but been in conversation with him a little bit, thanks to social media. Hey, but I do want to point out I didn't have my facts completely right last week. I was talking about North Canton Zone Alex Poinar. He's one of our. Well, we've adopted him. I adopted him like 2 years ago, but he's now the guy that we pull for on our podcast.
Indeed.
He has his first professional fight with the Revelation Fight Organization. That's RFO. The fight that he's got, his first one, is going to be June 10th, and it's going to be at Summit County Fairgrounds in Akron, Ohio. And it is going to be streamed. Now, I misspoke and said it was going to be on Flow Grappling. It's going to be on Flow Combat.
Which I think is just a different vein of Flow Grappling.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. But nonetheless, so June 10th is we're already blocked out for that Saturday. So
right.
I don't know what the UFC is throwing down. Is that the Holloway card?
June
10th.
No, that's Fight Night 110 headlined by Mark Hunt and Derek Lewis.
Oh, that's the one from New Zealand. It's probably going to be at a weird time anyway.
Yeah, either that or they'll have to suffer and just go to these fights at like 5 a.m.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. But nonetheless, so that's what we're going to be doing is we're going to be pulling for our friend Alex. We're going to be trying to set up an interview with him if we can figure out the technology to do so and touch base with him and ahead of his RFO fight that's coming up. So looking forward to that. It is going to be on Flow Combat. So if you're wanting to cheer on Alex, which I'd recommend you do, or else I'll call you a dirt-worshipping heathen. I think that's the marketing he was aiming for.
He's a big fucking guy, man.
He's like a 125 dude, right? 125.
No, he's bantamweight.
135. So,
yeah, he's
okay.
bantamweight.
Yeah, well.
But I mean, for bantamweight, he is.
Oh, you mean stacked?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like Mark Hunt.
Oh,
like,
no.
Bullshit.
No. No. The dude is ripped.
Yep. And he just got back from New York City. He was there for a week, hitting pretty much, in his words, the best training facility in the world.
Those schools are really thriving up there now.
Oh, now this is legal in the Empire State MMA? Yeah.
I bet you they have fucking amateur bouts going on all the fucking time now.
Yeah. But he just got back from training for that. So he's at the 30-day, just over 30-day out mark. So, best of luck, my friend.
Shit. It's happening good, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and then on to some other stuff here as we've already surpassed like 24 minutes. So we've got Axis fights coming up tonight. I couldn't help but notice one of the guys that's actually the main event on the card tonight on LFA. It looks like the Kurgan from Highlander.
Ramirez. Fucking that was great.
Anyway, wouldn't you say? Really, I mean, the focus is always going to be on UFC and Bellator because those are the big promotions that are out there. But really, the guys that are scrapping in order to keep scrapping another day, that's where the smaller organizations really come into play.
Right.
LFA and down. I think, man, you get a different mindset from cats that are stepping in the octagon then.
Yeah, because they're fighting for bigger things.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times now, as soon as if a dude wins a fight, just blows a dude out of the water. Post-fight interview, they're saying, "Hey, UFC, I'm ready. Let's go."
Right.
Which, and rightfully so, because UFC likes to go and cherry pick out of these smaller promotions. They've made a TV show out of it.
Looking for a fight, and yeah. Well, we've seen how well that's worked out for him. The Sage Northcutt experiment is kind of in the trash can at the moment.
Right. God, there are a lot of promotions running fights today.
Yeah, Fridays. That's a big fight night.
No, I mean, I'm talking 10 Victory Fighting today, Legacy today, Combate today, Golden Boy Promote, boxing, Arabic Ultimate Fighting Championship.
No, that's
coming
great.
out of Sharm Elk Shake.
Sharm El Sheikh, our third Brett, our partner in business. That's where he was stationed.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
they're having a fucking fight card there tonight.
Yeah.
See another boxing one.
And that one, I, just from what I understand, if it's taking place there, there's some fixes in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Apparently it's overrun with Russians, and you get any place that's overrun with Russians outside of Russia, well.
Yeah, you got another boxing deal, and Danger Zone 49 putting on Cinco de Mayhem.
That's clever.
Yeah.
Kudos to them.
In Fort Wayne, Indiana.
The hotbed
Of MMA, up and coming.
MMA and Cinco de Mayo celebrations all coming together, all coming to a head. All right.
Damn.
Well, I think that's about it for this week. If it wasn't as entertaining as past weeks, I blame that on my sobriety. Sorry about that. I got a little bit of a late start because we have to work meadery stuff. I try not to get crocked. So.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's been a busy day already.
Yeah, I'll let that bullet rye murk me later. So.
Fucking hang.
So anyway, that's probably it for this week. Next week, looking ahead to at some point like I said, we are going to work on trying to get an interview with Alex Poinar and get him on the show. We're going to be making picks for UFC 211 next week.
Oh, dude, we can't fucking pre-order the Winter Sun album no more. Pre-sale's over. We've missed out. We'll never get to hear it now.
Yeah.
We are the land of misfit toys.
You're just trying to dig up some shit and try to get
Hey, no, it's fact. I mean, that thing's over. It's over. So now we're going to fucking find out.
Well, most of their stuff that was actually for the very first initial pre-order stuff is already out there, right?
No, that shit doesn't come out till July, I think.
Well,
when the physical copy comes out.
Right.
So we're going to see. We're all going to see. I'm going to be torrenting the shit out of that album.
Greatest metal band of all time. I can't even say it with a straight face. All right, shit. We got other stuff we got to be doing today, but
Mead, I'm picking Runestone today.
Okay. We're making picks on the three topics of discussion today.
Let's see. Metal. I'm going to pick Devin Townsend. Happy birthday. I'm sure you're listening. And for MMA, I'm going to pick CM Punk over Vitor Belfort in Rio.
That fight's not even going to happen.
Via Japanese necktie.
It's not even going to happen.
Well, Tank Abbott ain't going to sub anybody either, but it's still my pick.
All right. My picks, original batch one.
Old school.
The unicorn that exists out there. Metal. What am I going for on metal? I'm going to go The Sword. Check them out. Their older stuff sounds pretty raw. It's all right.
Yeah, no kidding.
Sounds like they had an axe to grind. And, pardon the pun. And MMA, I'm going to go. Gosh, I've got to pick a new favorite fighter now that Rumble is purely.
Be careful who you pick, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Don't pick anyone I like.
Go Thomas Almeida and maybe Edson Barboza. I don't know.
You know what I should have picked?
What's that?
Those Jessamine Duke leaked nudes.
The Jessamine Duke leaked nudes from the Fappening.
I'm changing my pick.
Yeah, God damn it. All right. That's it for us today. I hope you have a mighty fine weekend and a great week next week. We'll be back for more fun and hijinks and hilarity, at least fingers crossed, next time around.
Have a good night, friends.